Hello, welcome to All Day Crochet with me, Dina Kidd. I want to welcome any millennial kids here today. Thank you for watching, as well as any of my Dr. E.W. Coffin school friends. Please like and subscribe if you find these videos helpful. And if you have stumbled upon me because you're wanting more information on crochet, thank you for joining me. And again, please like and subscribe to my videos. Today, we are going to be making a simple mandala. These mandalas, or this one actually, is made using double crochet stitches mostly, except for this row here is actually a row of single crochet, and the following row is made with double crochets, but they are made in the back loop only of the single crochet, and that's how it forms this nice line that adds a bit of interest to the project. Now, making circles in crochet isn't too hard. I've made a bunch of these little ones, which are kind of fun. Well, what could you do with little circles of double crochet? Well, you could play tic-tac-toe. So if you make a bunch of these, you and a friend could play a game of tic-tac-toe. So that's kind of fun. Also, this little tassel thing. Well, I've added the tassel on the bottom. I've stitched some together. You could use this as a pull on a zipper or a backpack, or just a decoration, or something to hang from a wall or anything. But it just adds a bit of color and fun to whatever you want to do with it. Now, in order to get started, I'm going to have my yarn here and my hook, and I'm going to start with a slip stitch. So I'm going to make a loop, then I'm going to make another loop, and I'm going to flip it over so that it's crossed at the bottom. Let's try that again. See how it's crossed right there? Then I'm going to put that loop on top of my first loop, insert my hook, and pull. Now, in a previous video, I gave instructions on how to make a magic circle. And that is one way to start your mandala. And these have all been made using the magic circle. But if you watch the video and you still don't quite understand how to do a magic circle, you can do it using 4 chains and connecting them together to form a circle. So to create tension, I wrap the yarn around my pinky finger. I bring it to the back of my hand. Now I have some tension in my pointy finger. And I'm going to take my second finger and put it on that slip knot, and then my thumb, and I'm going to pinch that together. And that's going to give me some tension while I make my stitches, so that all my stitches are relatively even and same size. And yeah, if you're in an angry mood, your tension could be really tight. And if you're in a very relaxed mood, your tension could be really loose. So keep in mind that you can breathe while you're crocheting. Take a deep breath, and you can relax, and your tension should be even throughout the whole project. So I'm going to yarn over, draw through a loop. That's my first chain. I'm going to yarn over, draw through a loop, and that's my second chain. That's my third chain, that's my fourth chain. So now I have 4 chains. And if you look at the chain, they form a V at the top. So there's actually 2 horizontal pieces of yarn that form a V. And if I flip that over, that's the back, and they form a little bump like that. So that's what the chains look like. Now I'm going to make a circle with those. So I'm going to insert my hook into that first chain I've made, yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. So that is what's called a slip stitch. So now I have a circle of chain 4 stitches. And if you look at that, there's that hole right there in the center, right there. And that's where we're going to insert our hook to make each of our double crochets. Also, here is the tail end of my yarn, and I'm going to hold that and the chain 4 circle with my second finger and my thumb as I work, so that I can bury this tail in those double crochets. The first thing I need to do before I start making double crochets is to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And that gives me the height and forms my first double crochet. Now my second double crochet, I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into the hole, yarn over, draw up a loop. Now I have 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over, draw through 2 loops, yarn over, draw through 2 loops again. And that is my first double crochet. Now I have 2 stitches in my circle, and I'm going to want to make 10 more double crochets. So that's my third one. So yarn over, insert the hook into the circle, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 loops. All the while holding on to the tail and that chain 4 circle at the same time. Okay. Now, if the stitches are crowding a bit, you might want to stop and adjust those stitches, push them along to make room for the next stitches, which is what I'm doing now. Okie doke. Keep going here. Now don't get too frustrated. Take your time and enjoy the journey. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need 2 more. And I'm using cotton yarn, and cotton yarn doesn't have a lot of sheen to it. It has a bit of what I would say tooth to it, so it's a bit more difficult to work with. Maybe you're using a wool yarn, or maybe you're using a yarn that's made out of acrylic. Some of those are a bit more smoother to work with. So now I'm adjusting my stitches in the circle. Okay, so I have 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I'm going to join the circle by creating a slip stitch in the third chain from that chain 3 we made at the beginning. So if you look, you can see that here is the first chain, here is the second chain, and here is the third chain. And that third chain is where we are going to insert our hook into that chain, just the V part. And sometimes you have to, kind of manipulate it on. Give it some help. Give that hook some help with your fingers to slide it on. Then I'm going to pull up a loop and then pull that loop right through the loop on my hook. So now I have the circle. There it goes. Okay, now remember that tail and how we worked our double crochet stitches around it? So there's the tail there. Now, if you don't like the size of the hole in the center, you can easily pull that tail and make that smaller. But if you like it big, that's fine. Okay. So the first row of our mandala is 12 double crochets around. And each row in the circle, you're going to increase by 12. So in this first one that we just made is 12 double crochets around. And in each of those 12 double crochets, in the second row, you're going to make 2 each in those. So that will be 24 double crochets around. The next row, you're going to do one double crochet, and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch. So in the next stitch, you'll do 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochets. And that will be the third row. That will be 36 stitches. Then the next row will be 2 double crochets, 1 in each stitch, and then the next stitch will be 2 double crochets. And you'll continue that around so that your mandala sits nice and flat. So with each row, you'll be increasing by 12. Okay, now back to our mandala. Here's the mandala. So for the next row, you're going to start, and this will be throughout making the mandala, that you will chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And that will count now and always as your first double crochet. So because this is the second row, I'm going to do 2 double crochets in each of the 12 stitches of the row below. So there's another double crochet. There's 2. Now I've made 2 in the next stitch. And in the next stitch, I'm going to do 2. All the way around until you have 24. Okay, now in my next video, I will show you how to change color.